Hello, y'all. I am back again for another video. And this video is going to be about ideas and as you go through life and you have developed certain traits, y'all. And I'm talking about more positive traits, traits that don't relate to addiction. Okay. So sometimes you can see the result of your own success. Okay. So this video is going to be about drinking, y'all, drinking alcohol and the way to do it. And I've put some things together. Okay. So what I mean by put some things together, I watch a lot of crime cases and there's things that I'll do and other people will do the same thing, but maybe not be as strict in this area. So we're going to talk about narcissists first. Okay. Aware narcissists. Okay. A lot of aware narcissists will be alcoholics. They just will be. We need to also dismiss this theory of a functional alcoholic and a dysfunctional alcoholic. That's almost making it seem like one is kind of better than the other. Being an alcoholic within itself is dysfunctional. So take away that what we're taught. The functional alcoholic would be the alcoholic that goes to work. He can create an income for himself. And this will be primarily, y'all, for the more more of the male functional alcoholics. And the reason it's going to be more focusing on the male for this video or the man, because I do videos about the ladies and I do them about the men. So if you go through my videos, I talk about both. But some videos I kind of zone in on a certain gender because I'm focused on that gender so you can learn and kind of grasp what I'm saying. So what happens is if you do a certain thing for so long, it's kind of like it can be sort of like an experiment in a way. Okay. And so one of the things I've done for many, many years since childhood, y'all, since childhood, and I'm kind of getting the result of something that I've always done since day one. Okay. One of the things I do is that I do not drink. And I've talked about this on another video. I've done a live where I've mentioned this. I do not drink with men inside of my residence or their residence. Okay. I want to say this one more time. I do not drink alcohol or alcoholic beverages with men. I don't care what man they are. I don't do it in my residence and I don't do it at the man's residence. Okay. And what this has done for me, for one, whether you believe it or not, a lot of people, especially aware narcissists, they won't do certain things to you if they compartmentalize you in an area or areas as being superior to them. Okay. The way to be viewed superior to someone is not what we've been taught in the United States that you need to be white. Okay. The way to be viewed as sort of superior so that you get a certain level of respect is by a behavior. Okay. It's something that you do or don't do that will make you be viewed in another person's mind or make you be viewed to them in general as superior. Okay. So when you're viewed as superior in a certain area due to your behavior, then people will respect you or at least control themselves enough to where it appears to be respect. Because narcissists do not respect you, not from their soul. Okay. So because I don't drink in a residence with a man, now my aware narcissist, even after I did not allow him in my residence, he would ask me to drink at his, okay? He would ask me to drink at his place. So thank you so much for the like. So if you can put in the chat or in the comments, why do you think he would ask me that? He already knows I don't drink alcohol in my residence or in his. So why would he every 2 years ask me one time if I would like to come to his place to have a drink? Why would he ask me that? Hello to the Night Sage. Thank you so much for the chat. Justin Ray. So Justin Ray, you're saying shut up. Who don't know? Who are you talking to, Justin Ray? Justin Ray, I'm asking you. I mean, I'm trying to get you to participate in the live, right? I know why. I'm trying to get to see if you know why. And there's many different reasons why somebody can want you to drink at their residence. Scabbard? I don't know what that means. Okay, so the main reason is the person wants control. Okay. The person wants control and they want you vulnerable. Okay. Some people want to lace you because if you go drink at somebody else's place, the alcohol is already there, right? So somebody may want to give you a date rape drug. They may want to start a fight with you. The bottom line is they don't want you superior. So when a man knows that you don't drink at his place or at my place, he doesn't want me to be superior. Okay. He doesn't want me to be on my game. He has ill will towards me. It's actually dangerous, very dangerous. And I believe that if ladies stop doing it, I don't care what race the lady is, it will reduce the death rate. Okay. It will reduce the homicide rate, the assault rate for violent assaults, and it will reduce the rate of the rapes, date rapes. There's a lot of good that can come out of this. I'm just now actually realizing that one of the reasons I may even still be alive or have not been assaulted just on a regular or bruised or scarred up, it's because of the trait and the behavior, and I stick to it. Okay. So I no longer allow the aware narcissist that I was with in my residence. Okay. And part of that is because of safety reasons as well. However, there was when he wasn't allowed in my residence where I went to his residence. And he would ask me about every 2 years, would I like to have a drink at his place? So one of the reasons I don't do it is because I've always kind of been aware of alcoholism. Okay. And when I was growing up, when I was a little girl, one of my best friends that I grew up with, her mother was a alcoholic. And one of the things that her mother used to do was get drunk and drink quite a bit in her residence. So I learned as a very young girl by seeing that experience, um, and also witnessing one of my best friend's mothers violently attack her when she was drunk, when her mother was intoxicated. And I would, in this case, I would call it drunk. She was drunk. Okay. So I learned as a little girl that it's probably not a good idea for a lady to drink in her own residence. Okay. And it was also something I didn't see my grandmother and mother doing. So I kind of had a good upper hand or teaching in that area. So I naturally took it on. Even when I was married and my ex husband drank, I never drank alcohol with him in our home. It was just something I didn't do. I did not drink alcohol in my home. I do not drink it in my home now. I do not bring alcohol in the home. I do not purchase alcohol and bring it in the home. I believe it's best done outside of the home, like at a bar or restaurant or something like that. Okay. I believe that also you're more protected in general when you do it outside of the home. I believe that um, the home is a isolated area and is a unsafe zone for you to be drinking. Okay. Um, Certain risk factors say you're at home alone drinking and you have your first heart attack and nobody's at home. Who's going to call the ambulance? Okay. Versus if you're in a bar drinking and you have a heart attack at the bar, the bartenders or the owners or the staff will call the ambulance for you, hopefully. Okay. So I'm just now realizing, and I was just thinking about that this morning, right? Or thinking about this idea of how just doing that certain thing that I've consistently done, I'm just now recognizing how that has saved my life. Okay. So, from an aware narcissist point of view, and I'm talking about my ex, he's an aware narcissist. He calls himself one, y'all. He's an aware narcissist. So, what he would do, they compartmentalize. Okay. And believe it or not, when people threaten you, or especially alcoholics, what they would call functional alcoholics, but remember, they're all dysfunctional. Okay. You have something that's really beautiful that the alcoholic wished that they had. Normally, an alcoholic does not want to be an alcoholic. And remember, there was always a point in an alcoholic's life when he was not an alcoholic. So, say he became an alcoholic at 18 years of age. Prior to being 18 years of age, he was not an alcoholic. So, they still will remember the experience of not being an alcoholic. And in their soul, that's always going to be something they wish that they could master. Okay. So when someone wishes they could master a certain thing and you mastered it, they have somewhat of a boundary and some sort of displaying of respect towards you. And that displaying of respect towards you can actually save your life. I know for a fact, I thought about this. I know that alcoholics probably wanted to snatch my ass up, drag me down the street, and beat the shit out of me. But I'm sober. So they put me in a different compartment. And also, when you're sober, you may not believe this, but there's more fear of you. I fear, okay, I'm sober. I fear a sober person before a drunk one. And I'm talking about just the fear of knowing that they're going to call the police on me. I know if I walk out of my house today and I go threaten someone that's not intoxicated, I know they're going to call the police. I wouldn't do that. I'm just giving an example. But if I walk down the street and I threaten a homeless, intoxicated dude or guy, he may be so drunk he ain't even hearing my threat. I'm less fearful of consequences. Okay. So if you want to be the type of person where you want people to understand that when they violate you physically, verbally, or mentally, that there's going to be consequences, the best way to do it is to not be an alcoholic. And the system of not drinking in a man's home can save your life. It can save your life. It saved mine. And being consistent with it. Now, if an aware narcissist every 2 years ask a lady to drink in his house, he doesn't mean her well. He doesn't, there's no empathy there. He doesn't mean you well. He wants control. And what it will lead to, say if I was the type of lady and I didn't have that that discipline spirit in this area. Now, am I disciplined in all areas, or there's some areas that I could afford to work on? Yes, we all need to do some work. But if you can perfect certain areas and stick to it, since the time I've been a child, I don't drink in men's houses. No boyfriend or husband I've ever had do I drink in their residence. Even till this day, I keep that same standard. So what it's done, for one, is prevented me from being an alcoholic myself. A man will be less likely to assault me because he knows I'm not intoxicated at residence, and he's going to be held accountable. Because for one, an aware narcissist, especially, he knows that I'm going to remember what he did too. See, when ladies go in men's houses and they be real intoxicated, he can say, girl, I didn't do that to you. What you talking about? Oh, you got a bruise on your leg? I didn't kick you. I didn't do that. So there's more gaslighting that a man can do if a lady is at his residence and she drinks. Even just having one drink, he can gaslight. Also, it's the gateway to a lady becoming the same thing he is, an alcoholic. I'm hearing about cases, y'all, where people are becoming alcoholics And they are literally in their 80s, y'all, 70s and 80s. And you would think somebody in their 70s and 80s becoming an alcoholic. I mean, you just like, this is unheard of, but it actually is a real thing, y'all. And most of those ladies that this is happening to, that I've been hearing about, they're in their 70s and 80s and they were non alcoholics, but they would drink in the house, in their residence, and drink in the house with other relatives that were alcoholics. So, like, I'll give you one example. This is a elderly lady, and she's about in her 70s, and there's been reports that she's being verbally abused by her son, her middle-aged son. And one of the things that the lady has now is she has a alcoholism problem. Now, prior to me being told she had this alcoholism issue, prior to this, there was not any reports of her son verbally abusing her. But now his mother is in her 70s or 80s, and she's a alcoholic. She drinks inside of her residence and other people's residence, most likely, right? So now her own son is verbally abusing her. And he most likely will continue it because she's a alcoholic now and she drinks inside of homes. One being her home and then the relatives, her family members' homes. So I want you to connect. I want ladies to connect drinking inside of a residence to males disrespecting them. Okay. So this trait, it's been proven. I've done it since I've been a teenager. Now, have I had some domestic violence in my life? Yes, but I have not been killed. I have not been set on fire. Let me see. Somebody put this on here. Let me read this comment. So, someone said, Sunny 928 says, laugh out loud, you all in people's business. Girls, stay in your own family mess. Acting like you're a saint. No, I'm not acting like I'm a saint. That's not what I'm doing. Okay. So Sunny 928. See, that's a person right there. Let me tell you something about yourself, Sunny. What gender are you? Are you male or female? So what you're doing, you just told on yourself. So what you're doing is you're drinking in your house or you're drinking in someone else's house. Let me go get my charger. Because I'm gonna talk to you. I'm not acting like I'm a saint. That's not what I'm doing. Didn't you hear me say earlier that I have flaws I need to work on? How am I acting like I'm a saint when I've already stated nobody's perfect? Replay the video. You must have just came in the video. Let me go get my charger. People are something, or people are something else. Let me get my charger. It's very sad. It's very, very sad. Hold on, let me put my charger over here so I can plug this up. Okay, so let's go back to this comment. Sunny 928. Okay. So the comment is this: laugh out loud. I'm not in people's business. That's not what it is. I have a channel here, right? So I'm telling you an example of a mother. I did not reach out for this information. The information came to me of an elderly mother that is now going through abuse with her own son. And where the lack of respect is coming from is that she is now drinking inside of the home. Notice I said drinking inside the home. Did I say I never have a drink? I'm telling you a way to do things and giving you suggestions and explaining a result that I have gotten in my personal life that will help people live longer. Men do not respect females that are alcoholics. They don't. I've been around ladies that have went down that road. Some of them have been disfigured, y'all. Okay? It's not being a saint. Hey, guess what? I guess I'm like a saint in that area. You can be like a saint in certain areas of your life as well. Hello, y'all. Thank you so much for being so patient. So this device went out, and thank you so much for the likes. So before my device powered off, remember I had to go get my charger. So thank you so much for your patience. We were talking about Sunny, the comment that he or she left about let me get to this comment here. Hold on. I'll read it one more time. Okay. So Sunny 9 say, you all up in people's business. Girl, stay in your own family mess, acting like you were saying. Yeah. So I'm always in my own family stuff. This must be a person that's they're not a regular watcher of mine, right? Because the thing that my live videos will show is I'm no saint. Okay, that I don't even portray myself that way. This video is to explain what I have developed. I have had a habit that I have had since I've been a very young person. And I'm trying to explain to you the result of the habit and the way I do things. It has been beneficial to me. Okay. And I want to encourage you, because some people have things happening to them and they never link it to the way they do things. So say if a lady, she's been in 10 domestic violence relationships, she may never connect it to the fact that she drinks alcohol at men's homes. And keep in mind, I'm no longer a married lady. So wouldn't it be wise for a lady that's not married to not be in men's houses drinking? Wouldn't it be wise for a lady that is not married to not be in her house drinking? Alcoholism runs in my family, y'all. And so it has prevented me from being an alcoholic myself. I'm going to increase my own chances of being an alcoholic if I drink in the home. So, Sunny Nine, I also never said I don't drink at all. I'm pretty much medically a non drinker. But I'm suggesting if you're going to have a drink for a lady, I'm encouraging her to do it outside of her home. Go to a restaurant or a bar and stop doing it in narcissists' houses. What's wrong with not wanting ladies being assaulted and killed? You're less likely to be killed if you're sober, y'all. You know how many people are unalive and both of them is intoxicated or inebriated, the woman and the man? So, Sunny Nine comment, you just showed me that you are doing exactly what I'm saying and recommending not to do. You just told on yourself. You told on yourself. So that's an area you need to work on. And look at what it's doing to your spirit. So see, for you to leave that chat or leave that comment here about staying in people's business, you on somebody else telling them what to do. So Sunny Nine, you need to mind your own business too. Get off the channel. You shouldn't be here. This is my business because I upload lives and I'm on YouTube. I'm allowed to do live videos. So you are the one that's not minding your business. And I wouldn't see another thing. When you do stuff for so long, Sunny Nine, since you drink in people's house and you drink in your own house, because you've done that for so long, you've normalized it. But if you stop that behavior, you're going to get instant benefits from that behavior. Maybe not instant, but over time. And one of the things that you will be able to develop is your character. See, because you're showing bad character, coming in here, devaluing some information that I'm giving that can save people's lives. Aware narcissists that are alcoholics, I'm telling you, my aware narcissist, he would have been kicked my ass. He would have been shot me. But he has a certain respect for me that he has developed that gives him a boundary to say that, okay, I'm going to leave her alone. I'm going to spare her life. And believe it or not, a lot of times people are not as out of control as you may think when they are attempting to take your life or violently assaulting you. They're doing it because they have no respect for you. And what are the ways that you can gain respect from males? One of the ways that especially even a white woman can gain respect from a male is stop drinking at their house. Aware narcissists will put you on the level like you a prostitute, y'all. That's some prostituting hoes do. And some of these aware narcissists, like the aware narcissist I was with, way back in his younger years, he did some pimping for a while. So me not drinking in his residence, and see, when a lady tells a man no, when he's asking her to do a bad behavior, he already knows that he's asking you to do something bad. My aware narcissist, he asks me every 2 years if I wanted to drink at his house. I've never one time drank at his house. I never one time allowed him to drink in my home. Now, did we ever have a drink together? Yes. But we did it in a restaurant, club, or a bar. And very rarely. So see, people, when they're conditioned to their bad behavior, that's how they review things. And also, they will view things like Sunny Nine did. Also, because I do not drink in my residence and I do not drink alcohol at an aware narcissist house, I was able to get my children from being addicted and staying on substances. See, I have had relatives, my own children, and other relatives in my family that have had substance use disorders. So because I'm that way, I get to live with drug-free sons now. You see, the benefit is so many benefits that I didn't even realize to the fullest degree until the Lord has showed me this morning how much He's blessed me because I do this one thing. It's no different than this. Okay. I was talking to my sons this weekend when we were leaving the gym, right? And I was talking about my grandmother, how she never got up past 6 a.m. in the morning. But my grandmother also owned a business for 40 years. That waking up at 6 a.m. every single morning, I don't have that trait. That's not a habit that I have. My grandmother had that habit and she did that 7 days a week. And that's why she had a prosperous business for over 40 years. So any habit that you stick to will be beneficial to you in a healthy, good way. So no, it's not saying, would I go say, just because my grandmother got up at 6 a.m. every morning, every day, 7 days a week, for her entire life, she had her business, would you say, oh, she's a saint? No, that's not what that's saying. I just want you to know, if you was to do this certain thing, and it's never too late to change, this video could free somebody from alcoholism. Some people don't even realize, y'all, that one of the reasons they are an alcoholic is because they drink in their house. Some of them don't realize that and don't put it all together because they were raised that way. So if they were raised in homes where they saw people drink in the home, then they think that it's okay to drink in the home because alcohol is legal and the government said they could do it. See, to get free of alcoholism and alcohol abuse, you have to devalue our laws too. You have to determine that no, it's not okay to drink every day just because I'm 21 or older. You have to change your whole mindset. Like I said, I have alcoholism in my family genes. So like this Sunny Nine, why wouldn't you want me? If you're a person that have empathy and care about others, why wouldn't you want me to tell a method that I use that's very powerful that will work? It's always a habit of mine, and it's always been a window into me maintaining and gaining respect, even from an aware narcissist. Not just respecting me, but respecting my children. And hey, I'll call myself area. in that particular area, I'm being as close to a saint as I can, because a saint would have godly character. Also, alcohol, that's a very masculine and hardcore trait that any lady should not be having in her house. It's in her best interest. For a married woman, per se, say if it's even a married woman, she may have less marital disputes. The marriage may last, it may be happier. But no, this is something that I figured out has so many benefits to it. I've just put it all together. This habit has taken me all the way back to St. Louis, Missouri, where I was born and raised. And it's a good habit. I'm glad I have it, and I'm trying to share it. Sunny 9, you obviously have not watched my lives. I talked about my Coca-Cola addiction on one of my lives. I tell you the bad so you don't do the bad, but I'm also going to share with you the good and tell you the result of the good. I do both. So Sunny 928, that's a person that has not listened to enough of my lives and videos, because nobody that listens to me on a regular would even talk to me like that. Yeah, but I'll just say I'm a saint in that area, and I want you to be a saint. An aware narcissist that knows that you will not drink at his house and you won't let him drink at your house, in his soul, he looks at you as a good person. Because in an aware narcissist soul, they wish they were not an alcoholic. So what you're actually doing is encouraging them not to be that way through your actions. You're encouraging them to be a better person. You really are. And it's the reason my aware narcissist did not shoot up my house. He didn't attack myself or my children violently. He never called me the B word or a bitch. I was never laced with a date rape drug, or anything else. Number five, when I would discard him and didn't want to talk, he would leave me alone and not harass me and allow me to, when I wanted to talk, and still does that right to this day. He talks to me when I feel like it. People treat you a lot different, y'all, when they know you at your house sober. They do. Because for one, they know. Any male knows this, even my own children. When you call me talking all that violent, crazy stuff, and I'm going to put you in the policing system for it. I sure will. So it makes people back off. Aware narcissists, especially when they are aware that they're a narcissist, they put people in compartments, y'all. So if you don't drink at their house and you don't let them drink at your house and you don't drink in your own house too, they put you in a better compartment. And the compartment that they put you in is don't fuck with them. You're put in a compartment where they leave you the fuck alone. Now, if I was at my house running around drunk, I've watched how intoxicated ladies are treated. I watched how intoxicated ladies are treated. And it's not good, y'all. It ain't good. And men can do other things to you. I can remember growing up, one of my best friends, I was saying her mother suffered with alcoholism. And she didn't have a man around, or she wasn't in no relationship, but her child's father would come over there, go in the room with the intoxicated lady that suffered from alcoholism. He'd go in there about 10 o'clock p.m., midnight. And I think he was married. He'd leave up out of her room 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning. That's all he ever did. Came at night, left in the morning. And the reason he's able to do her like that, she's intoxicated, y'all. She's suffering from alcoholism. She might not even realize it. Maybe in her mind, he's staying there all day. You know, when you are intoxicated, your timing changes, the way you view things, your perspective is different. If you are not suffering from alcoholism, then as a lady, you're going to be less likely to allow that to continue to go on. So that's another trait. Because I have this habit of not drinking in my home, because that is a habit. That is a habit I've had since I was young. Because I have this habit of not drinking in my home and not going to a narcissist's home and drinking, I don't care if it's an empathic man. I just don't do it. Because I have this habit, I'm least likely to stay in an abusive situation. I'll always manage to wiggle my way out of an abusive situation, even if it's just emotionally abusive, because of this habit. This is a habit I want us all to develop. Since Sunny Nine mentioned being a saint, I actually think this is a habit that I would also suggest for men to develop. I think if men develop this trait where they don't drink in their house and they stop drinking at women's houses, they might attract less gold diggers. They might be in less relationships where some ladies, they're not really working with a lot of goodness for a man. Some ladies have nothing spiritually to offer a man. But if the man is going to her house drinking, and he drinking at his own house, he's going to be ensnared with a very demonic woman. Yeah, so this is a trait I think even a man should develop. And he can get free if he's suffering from alcoholism. This is the key to not being an alcoholic. They call it what? A social drinker. Some social drinkers are alcoholics, but for social drinkers, those would be drinkers that just drink in public. They're less likely to suffer from alcoholism. Because see, a social drinker, say someone only goes out to a fancy restaurant once a month because they have a very busy work schedule. And they just go out to a fancy restaurant once a month and have them a glass of wine or a drink. They're in the social drinker category. And so they're going to be least likely, 0 to none, to become an alcoholic because they're remaining just a social drinker. You can actually be a complete non-drinker. I've done it. Go 3-5 years without a drink. You can actually do it. And for guys that get high and drink with their buddies are not respecting them. Those are not lasting friendships too. So that's another consequence. If you really want to have lasting friendships that are respectable, guys, don't get high with your buddies. Stop drinking, especially for guys that do it a lot. Every night, every week, you got to go get high with your buddy. Limit that. You'll have better relationships with coworkers, your buddies, and everything. But for me, I'm actually realizing, and I'm thanking the Lord, and I was just really motivated to come on this video because I realized this morning, I said, oh my God, because I do that, because I never drank at this Aware Narcissist residence, every 2 years, he would ask me to drink at his residence because he doesn't mean me well. Also, if you don't do that activity, because I don't drink in a man's residence, I know when he asks me to do that he doesn't mean me well. But if you are the type of lady that drinks at men's residence, you won't know that he don't mean you well because you have a habit inbuilt of not meaning yourself well. Because if you're drinking at men's houses, you don't mean yourself well. You don't mean yourself well. You don't have to be drinking at somebody else's house. You don't have to do it. You really don't. So again, the knife say, thanks for the comment, Justin Ray. Try it, and I guarantee you, your life will improve. I promise you, your life will improve. By developing this positive trait. This is weird. It says 28 minutes on this live. And then at first it said 50 minutes. That's strange, y'all. Yeah, so please like, share, and subscribe. I don't know why it's doing that on this live. First it just said I was on here 50 minutes, which I know. Yeah, so anyway, y'all, please like, share, and subscribe. So I'm encouraging you to develop better habits that will get you a better result. I promise you. I've done this for many, many years. It will save your life. Please like, share, and subscribe. Sunny928. I ain't got nothing against you, but Justin Ray, thank you so much for the comment. And the Knife Sage, thank you so much for your comment as well. So again, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye. For more right here with the Advanced Insight channel.